On your back. Put the soles of your feet together. Let your knees drop open. Take your hands onto the quadriceps and push down so your spine is long and you create a little bit of space between the vertebrae. And then let your hands rest on the inner thighs. Closing your eyes for a moment as we set an intention for our practice this morning. To flow like water from the place of high to the place of low, taking the path of least resistance and doing the least harm to the body, heart, and mind. When you can't go through, you need to go around. So your river will just flow softly from space to space. Use your breath to move the body through space. Always being mindful to be kind, to be generous to your soul, to the place that you're in right now. On your next inhale, open up your eyes. Allow your head to drop from left to right and right to left, just massaging the back of the skull. And then come to stillness. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice cuddle and rock the body right to left and left to right. Then place your left foot onto the earth. Place your right foot onto the top of your left quadricep. Interlace your fingers around your hamstring or the front of your knee in a reclined pigeon pose. Draw your left knee towards your left shoulder and breathe softness and ease into the hip and the pelvic floor. For 3, 2, and then release the left foot onto the earth. Wrap the right leg around the left in Garandasana eagle legs. Extend your arms out to the side. Let your knees drop to the left as you look over the right shoulder. You can place your left hand onto the outside of your right knee if you'd like to intensify your twist. 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 Feel the lower back warming up. Feel the space that you're creating across the thoracic spine into the waist. Twist. Change, bringing your knees back to center, unravel them, hug the knees into the chest. And then place your right foot onto the earth, left foot onto the top of your right quadricep. Interlace your fingers behind your hamstring or the front of your knee. Pull the right knee to your right shoulder as you start to mobilize and release the fascia in the left hip, the pelvic floor. Press the tailbone onto the earth so the back is engaged. Draw in the navel, lift the perineum. Soften your gaze. If you'd like to close your eyes, you're welcome to do that. And then release your right foot onto the earth. Wrap your left leg around your right in eagle or Garandasana legs and extend the arms in line with the shoulders. Looking over the left shoulder, drop your knees over to the right. To intensify, take your right hand onto the outside of your left knee or the inside of your right thigh. And feel the space you're creating across the back of the shoulders, into the waist, over the left hip as you breathe. Softly, gently, into the places of tightness and restriction. Allow your breath to arrive easily. Fill your body with life force. And as you exhale, surrender, soften, and melt. And the next inhale, draw the legs back to center, unravel them, and then roll yourself up into a cross-legged seated position. Extend your arms out. We'll do alternate nostril breathing to settle the mind. Right thumb to right nostril, first and second fingers between the brows. Ring finger on left nostril. Close the left nostril, open the right. Deep inhale through the right. Close the right, open the left, exhale left. Inhale left. Close left, open right, exhale right. Inhale right nostril. Close the right, open the left, exhale left. Inhale left. Close left, open right, exhale right. And come to normal breath. Hands on knees. Taking your right hand behind you, your left hand onto the top of your right leg, give yourself a nice twist. Twist. Allow the vertebra to stack in a nice tall column. And then swap over to the other side. Right hand to left knee, lift the chest, twist, 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 and then come to center, cross the legs into easy, come into the all fours position, wrists under your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. We're going to just do a couple of little rolls to mobilize the shoulders, the wrists, moving clockwise for 2, and then come to stillness and reverse anti-clockwise, rolling to the left, little circles on those hands, twice more, and last time. Well done. So we're going to drop our hips to our heels, coming into little child's pose. Then roll the spine up into cow. Drop the belly, cat, look up. Exhale, tail down to the earth, child's pose. Inhale, round the spine, lift it to the ceiling. Drop the belly, spread the glutes, open the heart, look up. Exhale, drop the hips to the mat, child's pose. Rolling the spine up from the tailbone to the middle of the back, and then dropping the belly, opening the heart and looking up. One more like this, hips onto the heels, child's pose. Rolling, waving up the spine, drop the belly, open the heart, look up. And then come to a flat back. Take your hands onto the corner edges of your mat, a little bit widely spaced. And once again, we're just going to do a couple of rolls. So we've made the hands move forward on the mat. There's a little bit of an angle on the wrists. And then moving over to the other side. Should feel quite comfy and nice on those wrists, especially after a hard class last night. And then come to stillness. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes underneath you. Lift your hips up into lovely downward facing dog. Rise high onto the tippy toes. Drop your right heel. Bend your left knee. Hook your left big toe and second toe onto the back of the Achilles tendon. And keeping your shoulders square to the earth beneath you, move your chest a little closer to your back. 3. And then rise onto the tippy toes, both toes. Drop the left heel, bend the right knee, pause. Hook your right big toe and second toe onto the back of the Achilles tendon. And then move the chest towards the left thigh. Lengthen the back of the neck, breathe some space into the base of the skull. Rise onto the tippy toes, and then walking your dog, right and left, left and right. Coming to stillness, both heels to the mat. Look at your right foot. Take your left hand anywhere to your right leg or foot. Lengthen in the spine. Soften in the waist. Gently twist. Twist. And twist out that spine. Change. Come back to Ardha Vrksasana. Look at your left foot. Right hand anywhere to left leg or foot. Lengthen in the spine. Soften in the waist. Twist. Twist, twist, and twist. And then come to a flat back. Take your hands onto the corner edges of your mat, a little bit widely spaced. And we're moving our hands forward on the mat. So we've made the hands move forward on the mat. We've made the hands move forward on the mat. So we're going to drop our hips to our heels, coming into little child's pose. Then roll the spine up into the corner edges of your mat, a little bit widely spaced. And then come to a flat back. Take your hands onto the corner edges of your mat, a little bit widely spaced. downward facing dog. Inhale, your right leg as high into the sky as you can, point and stretch. Flex your foot, bend your knee, come into a lovely three-legged dog for 3, 2, swivel in the waist, have a little look out from under your right arm, 3, 2, and then bring your right foot and place it on the outside of your right hand. Drop your left knee. Bend your left knee, take hold of the left foot with the right hand, roll onto the outer edge to the other one. That's it. And look up to the sky. Cat pulling tail. 3, 2. Release that left foot back to the earth. Release your elbows into a lizard lunge. You can keep your knee on the earth or tuck your left toe underneath you and lift the left knee off the mat, pushing heel and tailbone to back wall as you stretch out and warm up the inner right thigh. 3, 2. Release your left knee to the mat, top of the left foot flat, bring your hands under your shoulders, move your right foot to the center of your mat, and then come into a half split, taking abdomen to thigh, chest to knee, and the face to the shin. Holding it here gently for 3, for 2. Pushing up into a high lunge on that left leg, holding it here for 3, for 2. Place your right hand inside your right foot. Swivel the right foot parallel to the front of the mat. Raise your left toe. Bring your hands to heart center. And then extend your right arm out, your left arm up, and look up to the top thumb. So turn your right foot parallel to the front of the mat. And swiveling the left palm around, wrap, bind, and roll the top shoulder back. Look up. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Unbind, bring your hands back to heart center. Swivel back into your high lunge. Step your right leg back, come into a nice plank pose. Drop knees, chin and chest onto the earth, coming into your wiggly worm. For 3, 2. Push your heart forward, rest your hips on the mat, elbows underneath the shoulders. Draw in your chin slightly so the back of the neck is long and your crown is reaching up to the heavens. For 3, for 2. If it's within your practice, you can straighten your arms slightly and hold it here. Be sure to keep the shoulders melting away from the ears in this yin practice. For 3, 2. Walk your hands underneath your hips and push up into upward facing dog. Look up. For 3, 2. And then come up onto the toes. Hold there. And roll back down into downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg high into the sky, point, stretch. Flex the foot, bend the knee, heel to hip. Gently look out from under the left arm for 3, 2. And then placing the left foot on the outside of your left hand. Dropping right knee, top of the right foot flat. And then bend your right leg, take your left arm behind you, bind on your right ankle, roll onto the outer edge of your left foot. Cat pulling tail, looking up to the sky. 3, 2. And release. Hands inside that left foot, drop into lizard lunge. You can stay here or tuck your right toe underneath you and lift the right knee, pushing heel and tailbone to back wall, making sure your head is an extension of your spine. For 3, Release your right knee onto the mat. Come into a half split. Abdomen to thigh, chest to knee, legs to shin. And then pushing up into a nice high lunge with the pushing your right heel backwards to place your left hand inside your left foot. Swivel the left foot so it's parallel to the front of the room. Raise your right toe, coming into Skandasana. Hands come to heart center and straighten out the left arm. Reach the right arm to the sky. Look up. 3. Right arm up. Swivel the right palm around and take a bind. Roll the top shoulder back into the sky. 2. One more breath and unbind. Bring your hands back to your heart center. Swivel around into your high lunge and step your left leg back, coming into a nice plank pose, holding your plank. And then knees, chin, chest to mat. Push the heart forward, rest your hips on the mat, coming into your Sphinx pose. Shoulders soft and away from the ears for 3, 2. Straightening up the arms, coming into a small baby cobra. 2 more breaths. Walking the hands towards the hips and pushing up into upward facing dog, resting on the tops of the feet. 3. Now we're going to rise onto the front of the toes, stretching out the front of the feet. And then tuck your toes under, coming into down facing dog. Wonderful. Looking forward, you can step, float, hop or jump with your feet hip width apart at the front edge of the mat. Uttanasana, a lovely forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, look forward. Exhale, bind on your big toes. So your peace fingers and thumbs wrap around the toes, your elbows point to the sides of the room, and you squeeze your abdomen to your thigh, your chest to your knees, and your face just a bit closer to the shins. Inhale, halfway up, look forward to align the spine. Slide your right hand under your right foot, your left hand under your left foot. Press your feet onto your hands. Use your elbows as levers. Shift your weight forward without locking your knees. You want to engage your quadriceps as you stretch out the hamstrings, back of the knees, Achilles tendons, and calves. Try not to draw your shoulders up around your ears, but keep them soft and relaxed. Releasing your hands, raise up to align your spine. Bend your left knee, bend your right knee. Thread your right arm through your legs. Take your left arm over and behind you. Roll the top shoulder back, look up. And then you can start to straighten your right leg for an intense standing abdominal twist. Twist. And twist. Bending the right knee, releasing your bind. Bend your left knee. Thread your left arm through the middle of your legs and your right arm goes behind you to bind. Roll the top shoulder back, look up. Straightening up the left leg if it's within your practice for an intense standing abdominal twist. Twist. And twist. And then gently releasing your fingertips to the mat. On your next inhale, roll up a vertebra at a time to standing. Adjust your feet and come into Samadhi here at the front edge of the mat. You should be nice and warm now. So move myself back slightly. Of course, this video is just not working, by the way, so ignore it. Inhale, take the arms up, look up. Exhale, fold down the front of your body, coming into Uttanasana. Raise the chest, look forward to align. Bend the knees, you can step or jump back into plank pose. Draw knees, chin, chest, or go through Chaturanga with elbows brushing the ribs. Inhale, upward dog. Exhaling into Adho Mukha, downward dog. Drop your knees and the tops of your feet onto the mat for Ustrasana. Come up, hands onto the base of your spine, baby fingers sides and the hands touching. Push the hips forward, gaze across the ceiling. If you see the back wall clearly, you can take your hands to your heels. Ustrasana, camel pose. Holding it here for 3 breaths. For 2. Change hands to hips, gently come up. Drop your hips onto your heels. Open your knees nice and wide, lengthen your spine, and then walk your hands forward into child's pose. 3, 2. Come up ever so slightly, thread your right arm between your left arm and left leg, and settle that right shoulder onto the mat. Feel the stretch across the top of the shoulder into the top of the bicep. Feel the tension dissolving out of the joints and into the mat beneath you. For 2 more breaths. And then release that hand and walk the hands over to the left hand side like a little banana, stretching out from your baby right finger into the wrist, the forearms, elbow, tricep. Feel the lengthening under the arm, between the ribs and the intercostal muscles, the waist and the top of the head. And walk your hands back to center. Hands come back to your body, coming up onto your knees. Your second Ustrasana, hands to the base of your spine, forward and then across the ceiling. If you see the back wall, you can take your hands to your heels. So your knees are a little wider than your hips this time. Your heart is shining brightly into the space around you as you create compression in the lumbar spine when we hold our emotion, tension, worries and disturbances. Squeezing out the joints and the intervertebral discs. Juicing up the lower back. And then inhale your hands back onto your hips. Come up. Press your hips onto your heels. Lengthen your spine and then walk your hands forward into extended child's pose. With 3 breaths. 2. Walk the hands slightly towards you. Slide your left arm between your right arm and right leg. Settle your left shoulder on the mat. It should feel quite delicious. Feeling the nudge from the neck over the deltoid into the top of your bicep. Breathe softness and ease into any difficulty or disturbance, whether it's emotional, physical, or just your thoughts running away with you. Notice when your body becomes compromised or things become a little bit challenging, how the mind starts to wander and think of other things. Nip it in the bud and bring yourself back to your breath. Softly and gently, without judgment, just let the thoughts that don't serve you drift away into the distance. And then release that left arm. Walking the hands over to the right hand side, stretching out from the baby finger into the wrist, the forearm, the elbow, tricep, under the arm and into the top of the ribs. Feel the intercostal muscles between the ribs, stretching, relaxing, opening the waist and the top of the hip. For 2 breaths. back to center. Walking the hands towards you from Malasana, tuck your toes underneath you, open the knees wide, draw the heels to the mat. You can keep your hands resting on the earth in front of you or wrap them around your ankles and go to a bind. Keep your gaze lifted. You don't want to look down or you'll face plant. Remember that where your eyes go, your body follows. 2 more breaths here, massaging the calves, the Achilles tendons. And then if it's within your practice to do a crow, release your hands, place them shoulder width apart with your index fingers parallel to the sides of the mat. Straighten up the legs, stack your elbows above your wrists, don't look down, and then you can slowly and gently shift your weight onto the hands. For 3, for 2. Bring your knees and feet together, settle your hips onto your heels, take your hands behind you, look back and lean back. Looking forward, extend your right leg out in front of you, your left leg out in front of you. We're going to lift and lower the hips. Lifting up, looking back for 3, 2. Look forward, lower the hips. Lift the hips, squeeze up. Look back, 3, 2. Look forward, lower the hips. One more time. Lift your hips. Look across the sky for 3, 2. And then lowering your hips back to the earth. Bring the sole of your right foot to the inside of your left thigh. Inhale the arms up. Jamsrasana A, leaning forward. Taking a bind if it's within your practice. Keeping your shoulders square, both sit bones on the earth. Pushing your left heel forward and flexing your toes towards the crown of your head. Breathe into any tightness or resistance. Breathe into any disturbing thoughts or emotions that arise. Allow them to be placed in a bubble and then watch the bubble drift until it pops, disappears together with your thoughts and disturbances. And then on your next inhale, gently come up, take your left hand to your right knee, your right hand behind you, lift your sternum and twist, twist. Right palm faces the sky as you lean in towards your left toe. You can bind on the left toe if you can. Take your left hand to the inside of your left heel. So the left hand along the inside of your axis from the inside. And twist, that's it. Looking out from under your right arm, creating spaciousness down the right side of the spine and some compression down the left side of the spine. Roll out of that side, bend. Lift your right knee. Take your left hand behind you, reach your right arm to the sky. Lean forward, turn the palm out. Wrap around the front of the shin, take a bind. And feel the right shin and calf massaging the right side of the body, the torso, the right lung, the liver, kidney, spleen, gallbladder. For 3, for 2, and then gently coming up, move your right foot forward slightly, slide your left foot under your right hip, come up onto that heel, bring your right foot close, then move your knee across the midline of the body, take your left elbow outside your right knee, your right hand behind you. So you can twist here, or you can wrap, bind, and then twist. So whichever is better for you. Twisting, twisting, and twisting and and you're going to unbind. Bring the soles of your feet together for Parikonasana. Wrap your hands around the outside of the feet. Move excess flesh away from your hips. Lift your chest. And breathe. Shoulders melting away from the ears. 3, two. Move your feet a little bit away from you, open them up. Round the spine as much as you can. Take the forehead onto the tops of the toes. And then coming up, binding on your big toes, lean back onto your sit bones and push the balls of the feet out to the corners of the room for a variation of a Navasana. Holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Squeezing the feet together, look up to the big toes for 5, 4, 3, 2. Wrap your hands around the outside of your feet, press the thumbs against the big toes, push them away for 5, 4, 3, 2. Hands behind the head for 5, 4, 3, 2. Reach the arms forward for 5, 4, 3, 2. And then cross your right leg over your left. Hug your knees into your chest. Release your arms forward for 5, 4, 3, 2. Extend your right leg out, sole of left foot to the inside of your right thigh. You made it, well done. Hands come to heart center. Reach up, create space, and then fold forward over that right leg. Janusarasana A. For 3 more breaths. Changing your right hand to your left knee, your left hand close to your spine, align, lift the chest, twist, twist, twist. Left palm faces the sky, lean it towards your right foot, roll the top shoulder back, and look out from under your left arm. To intensify, right hand to the inside of your right heel. Really feeling the opening of the left side of the body, squeezing out any toxins or calcium deposits down the right side of the spine. For 3, for 2. And then roll out of your side bend. Lift your left knee. Bring your right hand behind you. Your left arm floats. Reach forward, turn the palm out. Wrap, take a bind, and gently fold forward. This time that leg, shin and calf, massaging the heart, the left lung and kidney, massaging the descending colon, the digestive system and the eliminatory system for 2. And then coming up on a breath, move your left foot forward, slide your right foot under your left hip. Your right thigh is parallel to the side of the mat. Lift up onto your heel, so you want to sit on the heel. Then bring the left heel close. Move the left knee across the midline of the body. Bring your right elbow outside your left knee. Your left hand close to you. You can twist here, or you can wrap and bind and do a little twist. Bring the soles of the feet together, coming back into your Padmasana. Binding on the toes, leaning back onto the sit bones, and keeping the big toes and ankles together. Push the feet away from you for 5, 4, 3, 2. Open the legs wide, look forward for 5, 4, 3, 2 breaths, reaching the arms forward for 4, 3, 2. So we're going to squeeze our legs together, take the arms to the outside, open the legs, bring the hands to the inside. For 4, and in. For 3, and in. For 2, and in. And 1, and in. Move your weight forward. Come into a wide leg straddle. Lift the sternum and walk those hands forward. With a straight spine, you can keep your hands resting on the earth. Relax your elbows if it's within your practice. Otherwise,